Well, good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing? Good. All right. Hey, do you know where mathematicians go to have some fun?
Where?
They go to Town Squared.
I forgot to laugh.
All right, that was Maria. That wasn't mine, okay? Oh, I messed it up. Wow. Times Squared. Okay, well, still hit like and subscribe. All right. So the warm up here. Solving for a missing sign. Guys, what theorem do we need to be able to solve these triangles? That's right. C squared equals A squared plus B squared. And on this one, are we missing the hypotenuse or a leg? A leg. So we're gonna go ahead and set it up, and let's go with Renee. What was your setup for this one?
13 squared equals squared plus b.
Yep. And then we go from there. We get 169 is equal to 144 plus b squared. What's 169 minus 144? What is it? 45? 25. 25 equals to b squared. We take the square root, and what's b? 5. So we end up with b equals to 5. Not a problem. And there it is. Raise your hand if you got that. If you got 5 as one of the legs. Excellent. Let's take a look at part B. For part B, am I missing a leg or the hypotenuse? The hypotenuse. So the hypotenuse, we always could label it a C value here. Okay, and Zulema, what would be my setup for this one?
C squared equals to 4 squared plus 2 squared.
That's right. So we are missing the C this time, and we end up with C squared is equal to 16 plus 4, which is 20. We take the square root of both sides, and C is equal to the square root of 20, which is a good answer. It's fine. If you have a calculator, we can see that the square root of 20 is approximately how much?
4.47.
47. So, all right, for around 4.47. Also, we could simplify the radical. Two numbers that multiply to 20.
10.
Okay, and then what about 10? 5 and 2. And finally, there it is. We were looking for two numbers whose two numbers that had a friend, a number that had a friend to go out with. What number did I put on the outside?
2.
What number stays inside and watches reruns of the Kardashians? The 5. Are they even famous anymore, Miss Margaret?
Yeah.
Yeah. But their show,
They're about to have a new song. How do you just have a baby book? Come on now.
We need topic.
Alright. Fill in the sides of the special triangles. This was yesterday's, right? Setting it up for today's. What are the sides of a 45, 45? So everybody together, what's across from 45?
1.
What's across from 45?
1.
What's across from 90?
Radical 2.
Okay. We got a 1, 1 radical 2. On the 30, 60, 90, what's across from 30?
1.
Across from 90?
2.
2. And across from 60?
Radical 3.
Okay. And those are the numbers that you want to memorize, and in this order. If we know these, then this lesson is going to be very nice for you, this section. So today is going to be more of the same. My goal for you guys today is we're still going to use special triangles. We're still going to use what? But by the end of today, I want you to feel confident and be experts at setting up special triangles and solving them. Okay? So nothing new today. It's just being more confident and also being able to look at weird multiplying radical times a radical. What do you do with those? Okay? So same thing, just being better at it. So let's take a look at the first one. When I see it, let me ask here. Melanie, is that a 45-45 or a 30-60? And how do you know that it's a 30-60? Yeah, because there's a 30 there is a 30 as a what? Angle, right? We have an angle that is 30. 30, 60, 90. So we have a 30, 90. What can I put here on the missing one?
60.
Okay. And so next to it, I'm going to go ahead and, that's right, we're going to draw the same triangle, draw it the same way. I mean, it doesn't need to be the same size, but in the same direction. And then 30 and 60. 30 and the 60. Yep. Now the next part is very important because if you don't put the correct numbers in the right place, then your answer will not be accurate. Skylar, what goes across from 30? 1. Skylar, what goes across from 90? 2. And across from 60? Radical 3. There it is. Okay, and here we go. It's going to be x over radical 3. 10 over 1. Perfect. Multiply, we get 1 times x is just x, and 10 times radical 3, 10 radical 3. Okay? Perfect. Let me have Aaron, what about for y? It'll be y over what? 2. So I'm going to write that. Y over 2 is equal to? So I can come back, Aaron, to this one. Yeah. So you said y over 2 and then equals to what?
Isn't it 10 over 1?
Yeah, I can use the same ratio. 10 over 1.
My bad.
That's all right. Thank you. And we multiply 1 times y is just y. 10 times 2, 20. You good?
Yes.
All right. Looking at the next one. I want you to turn to your partner, please. What type of triangle is this, and how do you know? Go. What type of triangle is this, and how do you know? Do you know? I gotta ask. Huh? I want to show you. I want you to have.
Mr. Laura,
Yeah.
what did the triangle say to the argument?
What did the what?
What did the triangle say to the circle during the argument?
I'm always right.
He told him that he was pointless. Oh my gosh, we're gonna get that next period.
You should have told me before.
Sorry.
Alright, so, what you guys say? Raise your hand if you think it's a 45-45. Raise your hand if you think it's a 30-60. Oh. Renee, I'm not sure which one that is. What does that mean like this? Oh, 45-45? Okay, but guys, but Mr. Lara, I see a 30 there. I see a 30 there, Mr. Lara. Shouldn't they be a 30-60? Can someone tell me, please? Raise your hand. Can somebody tell me? Diego, talk to me.
Those emails, so that they're the same, so they're both 35, 35. And the 30 is not inside the circle. I mean, the triangle.
Uh-huh.
Is it always three inside?
There it is.
Yeah.
You just told me that.
Did we get that? So, that's why on the other one, tricky, Mr. Lara. There was a 30 there, and I said, it's a 30-60 because the angle is what? 30. The angle, right? It's inside. Here we have a 30, but is it an angle? No, it's a side, so we don't count it as one of the angles. But Diego made a great point that these are equal, these angles are equal, and therefore the one that does that is the 45, 45. And I'm glad that most of you got that. I thought it was going to be a tricky one, but not for fourth period. Yeah, we'll see later. All right. And so therefore, we're going to set up a 45, 45 next to it. Okay? And Kalina, what is across from 45? 1. What's across from the other 45? What's across from 90? Radical 2. Okay, and so now here we go. Actually, let me ask somebody here. Let's go with David. What's the setup for x? X over what?
1.
X over 1 equals to what, David?
30 over radical
30 over radical 2. That's right. Multiply, multiply, we get radical 2x is equal to 30. Okay, we get 30x is equal to 30 divided by radical 2. You divide by radical 2 on both sides, which cancels the radical 2, and we get x is equal to 30 over radical 2, which we said yesterday is a good answer. But if it's multiple choice, you will not see it that way. Because what do we do to both sides? Multiply by radical 2. And let's see what that gives me. That gives me, actually I'll do it here at the bottom. That gives me 30 radical 2 at the top. And what about at the bottom?
2.
Just a 2. And this is one of those where, can I still simplify? Yeah, 30 divided by 2 is 15, so it'd be 15 radical 2. And this is one of those where, well, wait a minute. What do I know about the legs of a 45, 45? So do I need to do it all over again? You could, but we won't. Okay? Question? Let's take a look at part C. I'm going to do a quick walk around. Copy down the, well, real quick, is this a 30-60 or a 45-45? Okay, so I want to see the second triangle next to your, next to my triangle. As I walk around, draw another triangle, and I want you to start putting the numbers. Put the numbers where they should be. Put the numbers where they should be, and as we do this, start trying to do it by memory. Okay? Start trying to do it by memory. You want to remember these.
Yes, of course.
Tell me the group.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, it's fine.
All right, we got it? Okay, Jasmine, what goes across from 30? What number goes across from 30? 1. Across from 90? 2. Across from 60? Radical 3. Raise your hand if you have that exactly like I do. Okay? You ready? So I'm going to start with x. X over radical 3 equals to over 2. So I'm going to cross multiply, and I get 2x is equal to,
I don't know how to do that.
okay, that's why I put this here. So I get 6 radical 3 times radical 3. Is that right? 6 radical 3 times radical 3? Now, don't worry. Guys, what's square root of 3 times square root of 3?
3.
Okay, I heard square root of 9. But what is square root of 9?
3.
Just a 3. So this is just a 3. It's the same thing as square root of 3 squared. And square root of 3 squared would just be a 3. But the way I remember it is this is square root of 9. And what's the square root of 9? Just a 3. We good? That's it. And 2x is equal to 18 and x is equal to 9. And you divide by 2. Okay, go ahead and solve for y, please. Go ahead and solve for y. It's been a long day. It's good in the morning. I mean, you was at work.
It was hard.
Okay. You got it? Jose, tell me your setup here for y. Hold on, I want to be able to hear Jose.
I got y over 1. Uh,
6 radical 3, okay? 6 radical 3, and then?
over 2.
Over 2. We good? Set it up, set it up. We get 2y is equal to, well, 1 times 6 is just 6. I mean, you can do that if you want like this. But the 1 times 6 is just a 6, okay? And then what? Divide by 2. Mireya, what's 6 divided by 2? So this becomes 3 radical 3.
Does it matter if you did the 9 over radical 3? Because I guess the answer.
Oh, good question. So Diego was asking, could I have said 9 over radical 3? Yeah, you could have done that. Instead of this, you could have said 9 over radical 3. And you get the answer. The problem with doing it that way is, let's say this was a test, right? And you got x wrong for some reason. Well, now y is also going to be wrong. Right? But if you do it this way, you might get x wrong because you messed up on something, but you could still get y correct. And so I'd rather use the fixed one, the one that I gave you. Okay? All right, let's take a look at our last one here for today. Find the altitude of the equilateral triangle with side lengths of 12 centimeters. Ah, equilateral triangle. We talked about this yesterday. What do we know about an equilateral triangle? All the sides are congruent, which means, what about the angles?
It's going to be 45, 45.
Uh-oh. Talk it over with your partner, please. I heard different answers. What do we know about the angles? Go.
I think that. Wait, what's gonna be? It's gonna be 60.
Oh, this is the one where it's on the. Oh.
We got it? Okay, coming back. 5, 4, 3. Brianna, what do we know about the angles? How much is each angle? Well, what number? 60, 60, and 60. Brianna, because that adds up to 180, doesn't it? And everything's the same. All the angles are the same. All the sides are the same. 60, 60, 60 is 180. Okay. Now, it says find the altitude. So I'm going to draw the altitude. And David, that altitude means height. And when you draw the height, it makes what angle with the ground? Right angle. And since it was all symmetrical, when we drew the altitude, what did it do to my 60 here? It cut it in half. So now it's a 30. Oh, wait a minute. I see a triangle here that's a 30, 60, 90. Gasp. Uh-huh. Where do I put the 12?
On the sides.
On the line. Oh, on the 90 degree.
It's different than yesterday's, isn't it? Because here it says the side is 12, not the altitude. Remember yesterday we said altitude, and this is where I put, I think it was an 18. But today it says the side is 12, so the 12 does go on the side of the overall triangle.
So is the altitude 6?
We'll find out right now. That's what it's asking. Find the altitude. We'll see. I mean, that's a good guess. We'll see if that happens. So we have a little triangle here, and we know that it's a 30, 60, 90. Okay, put the numbers that should be around there real quick, please. The numbers that we should have around there. Genesis, what's across from 30? What's across from 90? What's across from 60? That's right, we gotta know those by heart. We gotta know those by heart. Yeah. Oh, and find the altitude. I forgot, where should I put the X?
The line. That's split.
It says find the altitude, so X, this is what we don't know. Alright, so Alexander, tell me the setup then. X, I always start with what we're looking for. X over what?
1.
Well, look at it again. Match them up. Here's the triangle, here's this. X corresponds with which one?
3. Radical 3.
Radical 3. So X over radical 3 equals to
12
12
over 2.
over what?
2.
2. Thank you. Cross multiply, we get 2x is equal to 12 radical 3. Alexa, what do we do to both sides? Divide by 2. Yeah, buddy. So we get x is equal to 6. That's right. There it is. We found the altitude. So, Diego, you guessed that it was 6, right? But in reality, to be more accurate, what was it?
6 radical 3.
6 radical 3. So it was a good guess. But it's 6 radical 3. Okay. Alright, so today we're not going to do whiteboards because we want to give you time to work on your homework so you don't have that much. Some of you might be able to finish so you don't have homework over the 3-day weekend. Good?
Yes.
So notice what I gave you.
Scrambled answer.
Of course I did. So as you go ahead and cross out the scrambled answers. Okay? I'll be walking around helping you if you need it. So go ahead and get started. If you're not finished with number 1, you're already behind. Let's go. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe.